Hi, welcome back to York and Spoon. I'm Janelle York, your vegan punk pinup. And today I'm doing something really fun. I don't know if you caught the Thanksgiving collaboration last month, but a whole bunch of awesome plant-based YouTubers and I teamed up to get you a Thanksgiving menu covering everything that you would need from desserts to appetizers to entrees. So that was the Epically Ethical Thanksgiving collaboration, and since it was so popular, we were asked to do it again for Christmas. So now we're doing a cruelty-free Christmas collaboration, and it's most the same of us from last time, as well as a couple new joining us. So I will link to everybody else's wonderful dishes in the comments below, as well as a playlist where you can watch all of those together. So I am going to make today a salad. It's a winter farro salad. This is the perfect dish to be an entree on its own, a side dish, or perfect for a potluck, which is what I'm going to use it for. It's good timing that I'm making this tonight, and I happen to have a potluck to go to tomorrow. So we're gonna start with some kale. I have here one bunch of lacinato kale. That's kind of the flat, darker green with just little bumps. And I have just removed those from the stem and I rip it up with my hands. So we're gonna treat this kale a little bit, because if we were to just eat raw kale, I know so many people who have had raw kale salad and they say, I don't like kale. And I promise them that perhaps they just need to treat it a little differently. So I'm gonna add some salt, and I'm just gonna take a big pinch, and also some lemon juice. So what we're doing is the salt and the acid are going to help us break down the fibers of our kale. Then we're gonna massage it a little bit. So I always ask people when they tell me they tried kale and didn't like it, well, how did you prepare it? And usually they just had it raw and just need to give this a try. So now that we've put our salt and lemon juice, you're just gonna get in there with your hands and kind of massage. So I just kind of squeeze and turn. This just helps physically break down some of the fibers, so it's not as tough. And then the acid from the lemon juice is gonna help cut down some of the bitterness as well. And so you'll do this for a good minute or so until the kale starts to soften. It's also going to shrink up in size. And it's okay if we get our hands a little messy. So we've got some great kale there. Now I'm going to add our farro. So farro is a whole grain. It is from the wheat family. So if you follow a gluten-free diet, I think that brown rice would go great in this dish instead of the farro, but if not, farro is a nice whole grain. It's got 3 grams of fiber per serving and 9 grams of protein, so it's a great protein source. And I've just cooked this ahead of time and let it cool, because we're gonna serve this salad cold. Sorry if you hear my dog clumping around. He knows I'm cooking with kale and he loves to eat the stems. So what I did was took 1 cup of dry farro, added 2 cups of water, so that's the ratio, twice as much water, and just brought that to a simmer, covered it, and let it simmer until all the liquid was absorbed. So you don't need to drain it, and it does take a little longer than some grains. I think probably 30 to 40 minutes. So we'll add that. So you can see this will be a very filling salad dish. We're not gonna add any fat in our dressing, so no oils. The only fat is gonna come from a 1/4 cup of Kalamata olives. And so these are pitted, of course, and quartered. So we want little bites. Now I've got some parsley. So this is 1/2 of a bunch of parsley, or about 1.5 cups. And we're gonna toss that together. So we've already got some salt in here. Now we're gonna season it a little bit more with some pepper, just to taste. You know, the amount's really up to you. I love pepper, so I'm gonna go a little heavy on the pepper. And then the dressing is simple. It's just seasoned rice vinegar. So if you don't have seasoned rice vinegar or prefer not to use it, I think that apple cider vinegar or white wine vinegar would both go really well in this dish. But Seasoned rice vinegar does include some sugar and salt as well. And I'm just going to dress this until it's coated. So that was probably about 1/8 of a cup to start with. I'm going to give it a stir and see how it looks. And I'm going to add a little bit more. So probably a total of 1/4 cup once we're done here. I find this dish to be very pretty, even though it doesn't have too many colors, but we've got a lighter green from the parsley and a nice dark rich green from the kale. We've got little pops of olive. All right. So here you have a beautiful winter farro salad, perfect for this time of year. Also, make sure if you're still planning your holiday menu to check out the playlist in the description box below. Thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate thumbs up if you like this video, as well as subscriptions if you haven't done so already. I have some really fun stuff coming up for the new year. We're going to do some kind of super healthy recipes to get you started with your resolutions.